So we're trying to rebuild this motor, but nothing's coming in the mail. I think this coronavirus is slowing everything down. I'm waiting on quite a bit of parts for this. I can't really go much farther than what I am. So what we're going to do is a lot of moving of vehicles. So this is my game plan that originally is going to happen with this motor. This motor is going to go into a car outside. The motor that's outside, the car that's outside that this motor is going to go into, the motor and transmission are going to come out of it and go into this car. The transmission in this car is going to go onto this motor. This motor is going to go into the car that's outside. That is a lot of motor swaps, and the reason for that is the car that's outside has probably been the best demolition derby motor I've ever had, but I may have started it without an oil pan on it because I tried to fix a leak and took the oil pan off and then forgot that I didn't put it back on when I started. But anyway, that's a different story. I think it's still a motor, but all my buddies say it's not worth it to take it to the show this is going to. But now saying that, this coronavirus has canceled a lot of shows around me. Shows that are coming up Memorial Day weekend and the weekend after Labor Day. The weekend after May 2-4 up here has been canceled. So the show I was going to go to that made me not buy spots for Bash for Cash has now been canceled. So if this virus clears up and the borders are reopened, because as of today, all the borders are closed between Canada and USA, I might be coming down to Bash for Cash. Not to Derby, because I do not have a spot, but to watch. That is the show still a go, because this virus is just doing wonderful things to the Derby community, and that's sarcasm. So what we're going to do today is we're going to clean up this garage, make it so I can get a car in here. We're going to pick up all these random engine parts that I have laying around, and we're going to do a little bit of cleanup. We're going to put it basically all over there, maybe right here, because this motor's got to come out. Now, I'm not going to drop subs on these because these are already derbied cars, so I don't want to be dropping subs. I'm just going to pull them all at the top. So this one here's got to come out because this motor here doesn't run worth a crap. It backfires. I think there's a dead cylinder. Cylinder number 2 smokes so bad, so I do not think cylinder number 2 is very happy. So this motor's got to come out, and I got to move everything, and then I got to go outside. This car should start up with a boost, but all my friends tell me that they do not want me to derby it because of the motor that's in it. So we got to see if it will pull itself out of this mud, which it's apparently sunk right into. And we're going to take this, we're going to put it in the shop and pull the motor out of this. This motor here has been the best derby motor I've ever had, but unfortunately I ran it without an oil pan. So I kind of messed up on that one. So this will be coming out, the transmission will be coming out, a different motor and transmission going back in. So we got 2 motor swaps to do, but apparently the government wants everybody to self-isolate, so the best place I think that I can be alone and do my own thing is in this, my golden garage. So let's move some stuff and get ready to move some cars and get ready for some motor swaps. So the show that I built this car for, I really don't even think is going to happen. And that's a horrible shame. But if it comes right down to the health of Canada and the U.S. citizens, canceling a couple demolition derbies, I guess, is what's going to have to be done, right? Okay, let's see if this thing starts up. How do I start? I gotta get underneath there to start it, don't I? Can I grab the wire? Oh yeah, you can grab that wire. There we go. Got the wire. Okay, this just has to go to there. Let's see if she starts up. It's got the bucket on it, so. Nope. So it still runs good. We're going to get this thing into the shop. Putting it in gear, this thing takes about 3 seconds to be able to do anything once you put it in gear. It might even take longer because it has the transmission cooler in it. Just got to pump the fluid. But happy it started right up. But we got to take the motor out of this. It's probably had 15 or 16 runs on it. And same as that transmission. That is the factory transmission that's bolted to that motor. So we're going to pull all that apart and put a different transmission on this. And I don't really want to do it, but the guys I want to do this team show with are telling me that if I want to be on their team, I got to do it. It's a team show and you got to come to a team agreement. But, like I said, I don't even know if this show is going to happen anymore. Let's get this thing fired up again. Well, it's in the shop, but I forgot something. This car has no brakes, so that was a little scary there for a couple seconds. But let's just put it this way. I have a lot of faith in this motor. I think this motor is probably one of the best motors I've ever had. I've taken this motor into more demolition derbies than I have taken any other piece of equipment from any car. I think this motor's been in more cars and in more derbies than some of my boat tanks. That shows you how much I like this motor. But I have to take it out. The guys I'm derbying with do not want me to derby with this motor in. I just sat here and redlined this thing for like 4 minutes. And it's just taking it. This thing is a champ and a half. This could also be another reason why the transmission's taken so long. Look at that fitting just conked right over. So, yeah, I guess we have to pull this. We're going to pull this entire motor transmission as it sits and put it into this car. Now this car here, it ran okay in beaten, and then in Owen Sound it ran okay again, but at the end it started running really bad. I thought it was a timing. It actually turned out to jump timing. So then I took it to Aurelia in the winter demolition derby, and it ran like crap for me the whole time. It wouldn't even start. After that, then it went to Penetang, and my buddy drove it, and it ran even worse. The car itself is near the end of its life, and the frame is pretty much wrecked, but the car's not garbage. This car here is still a pretty stock car and can still run some very stock shows. So why not take that motor that I love, that my friends don't want me to derby, and I take it out of this car, and I put it into that one. By doing that, I can test this car at a lower paying local show, and I can put a motor that I hoped is really good. This one right here. I hope this motor is bee's knees now, and I can put this motor into that car. So we're going to be swapping motors like crazy. I know we just put this thing in here about 2 months ago, but she's got to come back out. So that means motor mounts, transmission mounts, upper mount, rear mount, wiring, shifter, throttle linkage. All that's got to come off. Axles, struts, everything's got to come out of this, and this motor is going to come up and out. Even steering, power steering has got to come off of this. So there's a lot of things that come off of this. It's going to be taken out, And I'm going to estimate it's going to go right about there. So, during this quarantine, and I don't have corona, don't you guys worry, but during the time that we're not really allowed to go in public, we are going to be pulling some motors and maybe stripping some more cars. I just really hope that all my parts come in and I can hear this thing run. I do not want to put it, well, I guess I can put it in the car and see if it runs. But I think it's going to run just fine. Like, everybody thinks that it's not going to run. I think it's going to run. So, we'll see. I got high hopes for this motor. And I know that motor is a great motor. And I know this car is a good car. It just needs one better heart to be put in. It just needs a heart transplant. It's been around, but she's still kicking. So that's my plan. And we're going to hop to it. Well, I started getting ready to get these things ready to start working on. I'm going to go get the engine crane out probably tonight, but the wife is telling me she wants to watch a movie. So I think that's about as far as I'm going to get on these tonight. There's lots of work to be done. Those tires will be coming off and being doubled this season. They're way too small. I don't even know why I ran them. They're so small. So we'll be putting doubles on the front of this. We'll be tearing this thing apart and getting it all set up again. Just so much work to do it here. You know, it never slows down. The day you think you can take a break is when you put twice as much load on you. The other thing I just thought of is, if I want to get that running out of the car before I put it in. So if the parts don't come in by the time I want to put this motor in, I do have one more really good running motor. Back here. The lighting's very crappy. But I have this motor. I don't know if you guys can see it. But that motor right there is actually a really good running motor. It's just the transmission's garbage again. So, maybe I'll just put that motor into the car. If those parts don't come in, but if they come in, maybe I'll put them in. So, I don't know. Lots of things to do. Always things to do. Always things to do. So, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow on Zach's Workshop. And, be safe in this time of very stressfulness out there. If you see somebody that needs help, help them. That's all I can say. Try to be nice. Treat people the way that you want to be treated, and that's all I can say to you guys. Be safe, be smart, and keep building. Get ready for that derby season to come. It's I don't know what the 2020 season is going to be like. Everybody thought 2020 was going to be better than 2019, but we're off to one heck of a horrible start. So, stay safe, guys. Thanks for watching. See you back here tomorrow.